We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadet. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all.
Well, grand rising, everybody, and welcome to Self-Care. And we're going to play this morning's introduction just real quick here.
What if you could live to be 120 years old and remain active, healthy, alert, and vibrant? Our bodies are made up of cells that are constantly rejuvenating. So if we take proper care of ourselves, we can literally defy aging. Join us every Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time to learn about self-care from Susan Essentials on the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio Show. Learn how to help your body and your cells feel rejuvenated each day through proper nutrition, sleep, frequency medicine, and many unconventional methods of self-care. I'm Jody Susan. Join me and my amazing guests by calling in at 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak. We'll help you achieve a breakthrough in your health today.
Grand rising, everybody. This is Jody Susan with Susan Essentials, and we're so excited to have you here on the show. Looks like we need to do a few adjustments here. There we go. We are we're coming live to you from Georgia, and we've had some really exciting times the last few days. We actually just launched the Functional Food Program, which we've been teaching since 2018. We now offer it self-paced, and so throughout the show, we're going to kind of give you some highlights about what that means for you and how you too can reclaim your health simply by removing toxins, right? And usually there's a little bit more to that, but if you can remove the toxicity, the hidden toxins from your life, you can mitigate things like pain, depression, anxiety, and things like that. So this has really been a labor of love. And I'm so excited that we're going to have this available, for the world to view, because it's only $99. Used to be $1,500 because I had to be involved every step of the way. But when you surrender, right, to letting the universe conspire to make things happen, thank you, Ralph Waldo Emerson, you can really help the world embrace themselves. And it's perfect today that we have Jeremy Zito here. He's from Kitchen Craft. And, because everything we do in this world is, it revolves around food. Because it's like, when I wake up in the morning, what am I going to have for breakfast? When I it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you've got restaurants all over the place, and you got grocery stores and farmers. And we're going to tell you today why it's so important to be in the kitchen, right? And I'm not saying don't go to a restaurant, but like really, when you can cook amazing food in the kitchen and you know that it's toxic free because you're of the food that you're eating and the pans that you use, that's a really powerful place to be. So looks like we have Teddy May here already. She says, good morning, Susan Essentials. Teddy, thank you for finding the new link. So we had to send out a new link this morning, people. So anyway, so let's bring on Jeremy Zito. Whoop, let's see. There we go. Grand Rising. Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Good. How are you? I mean, we're having a few technology issues this morning, but what's life without, a few fallen apples, so to speak?
Yes, right? Happens all the time.
Yeah. And you just have to kind of go with the flow. And I'm just like, okay, we're redoing the show right now. I'm like, boom, 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 sending out a new link to you and getting everything going. So, yeah, so people will find us. It's all good. Basically, everyone got a new link for Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So it is, but they'll find it. Andrew's sending out a couple hundred notifications right now. So, and of course, everybody else is sending out their notifications. But, and let's see what we got here. So we've got a few callers on Blog Talk already, and we're live streaming on Podbean. And so, so today we're going to talk about being in the kitchen, right? And the power of cooking your own food and the power of cooking your own food, in Kitchen Craft, which is amazing cookware. So Jeremy, you taught me how to use the cookware yesterday, but before we go into that, tell us why is health so important to you?
Well, to me, it's really important because my dad died at the age of 48 from a heart attack, and my stepdad died at the age of 65 from a heart attack.
Wow.
And they weren't, neither one of them were overweight. But the contributing factor with their deaths was the type of food and the things that they were eating every single day had a major part, and obviously the outcome of that. So I personally take it very, very personal. Ever since that happened, I've really tried to change things I do every single day in my life to make sure that doesn't happen to me at a very, very young age, obviously, like those guys did. So, yeah, it's, there's hidden things in our foods and things that we cook with that contribute to obviously everyday health elements. And most of us don't even know about them. And
yeah, and that's why I was so excited to meet you earlier this year, because what you do really resonates with me. And it is about those hidden toxins. You want to talk about Teflon for a moment in the pans?
Yeah, most people don't know this, but I mean, Teflon is one of the most deadly materials out there. There's actually a class action lawsuit right now by every single state in the United States. There's actually was a documentary on Netflix for a while called Dark Waters.
But I didn't see that one.
Yeah, but long story short, there's a company called DuPont Chemicals that made that Teflon coating for many, many years. They're being sued by every single state in the nation right now because they've proven in a laboratory that the Teflon chunks that come off of those pans and end up in your food actually cause cancer. So,
you want to get better? I mean, let me get the list, right?
Yeah, and not only that, but underneath that Teflon is aluminum. So, as soon as that Teflon coating comes off, now you're cooking on aluminum, which obviously there's many health problems related to aluminum. So
dementia.
Yeah, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, many other things. So
it's a neurotoxin.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is what people want to know. So Teflon, first of all, I have parrots, which, by the way, they won't be on the show today. People are.
Bummer.
Well, no, but they typically are.
Yeah.
So, but Fagla is very hormonal, and she drew blood yesterday. She can't help it. She says hormonal. She's an animal. As spiritual and as amazing as she is, we need to give her some about a good 12 hours of sleep just to get those hormones back into check. Yeah, it was certainly interesting. But so I have 2 parrots, and I remember years ago. Now I've had parrots since I was a child. Since I was like I think I got my first bird when I was 4 or 5 years old. Why am I talking about birds? Well, because if you cook in a room with a bird and you're using Teflon, you can kiss the bird goodbye. Boom, done, out. So we have a couple comments here. Chris says, good morning. Chris says she's having her time of month. Oh, honey, it's not been a time. Let me tell you, it's been bad. She's drawing blood, not her blood, our blood. Sorry. So anyway, so Teflon is so dangerous, and when you consider the fact that you can kill a bird in a second from the fumes that come from the pots and pans that you're using, what is that doing for you?
Imagine what it's doing over many, many years to your body. So
yeah, I mean, so it's accumulating in those cells, right? And then you said it has aluminum underneath?
Yep. Most of those Teflon pans have an aluminum backing. So the pan's made out of aluminum. So as soon as those, the Teflon starts to wear off, which it always does, of course, then now you have exposed aluminum, which you're cooking on. So then those toxins from the aluminum obviously are getting into your food along with the Teflon. So it's just a deadly combination, all together. I mean, and not to mention those Teflon pans, they're terrible for our environment. I mean, they last 1-2 years if you're lucky. And millions and millions of them end up in landfills every single year.
90 seconds.
So
hold on a second. What's going on? Oh no. We have some serious technology. So everyone is listening. We're gonna get you a new link for the blog talk show. Still call in to the phone number if you want to listen to the same phone number. We apparently had all sorts of scheduling issues. The show was scheduled for 15 minutes versus 2 hours.
60 seconds.
Please accept my apologies. Sometimes you just, you get what you get. I guess you shouldn't be trying to, launch a brand new functional food program at the same time. So let me restart the show real quick on Blog Talk. And Jeremy, bear with us, please.
No problem.
Yeah. So
I got nothing to do today, Jody. So. I'm in the middle of Wisconsin on a horse farm right now. So.
Well, that's a beautiful place to be.
Yes, it is.
I grew up with horses. I was in
10 seconds.
So let's see if we can get this going. Hold on. So we're going to do create a, I don't know if Naeem is listening. Maybe she can text me and let me know whether or not she can create this episode for me. But we're going to go ahead and do that. Here we go. So it will be, here we go. Green eating with the kitchen. All right, so let's see. We're going to see if we can do the broadcast. We'll do it right now and for 120 minutes. on this one. So we're going to...
Using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, so that one's out. And then we're adding in the new one. And it is getting created. So if you're listening to the show, yeah, there we go. All right, we are direct connecting to the new show.
Your show now, press 1.
And
To
we're
hear
gonna
important
actually do a
instructions,
commercial
press
while
2.
we're doing this.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so we are live.
Blog Talk Radio. Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangade. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all.
Okay, so we are back on the show, and everything's in process, and we're very grateful for everyone being here. Jeremy, I apologize to you for any of the technology issues. It's not normal for us to have these. We'll have like a little glitch, but we've had several today. Just our lucky day. And so anyway, so we were talking about, before we were rudely interrupted by the show, about Teflon and aluminum. And the thing is that all these chemicals are in our cookware, and they're slowly deteriorating our health. And this is one of the reasons, by the way, that I created the functional food program. The functional food program, yeah, it's about nutrition, but I'm not telling you like how nutritious Brazil nuts are, or but I am telling you about the importance of eating organic, the importance of having the chemicals out of your home, and that the chemical that you used in your home a year ago, a week ago, whatever, a month ago, may not show up for you symptomatically at the time of using it. It's going to show up a week later, or a month later, or 10 years later, or I don't understand, cancel, why I got cancer. Or I don't understand, why I have brain fog. Cancel. Sorry, you just have to cancel that out because I'm not bringing that into my third field. So it's so important for people to understand the power that toxicity can have on your vitality. And your personal reason, Jeremy, is huge, right? When you lose two parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, don't you think they would have made a different choice?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, if they knew. So the other thing about this kitchen craft cookware is that it really supports people in nutrient dense food. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so the cookware allows you to basically keep all the nutrients inside of your food. So when you're, perfect example, when you're cooking your vegetables, the waterless cookware way, which is what our cookware is, you retain 98% of the nutrients inside your vegetables. Now, typically when we boil our vegetables, we lose between 50 and 85% of our nutrients because the water is leaching out a lot of the nutrients, plus the high temperature kills a lot of the enzymes and vitamins inside of those. So when we do it the waterless way, it allows us to cook at low temperature. We get no leaching. You get more flavor, more color, more nutrients inside of your vegetables. So essentially you need to eat, when you boil, 2 to 5 times as many of those vegetables just to get the same nutritional value that you would with the waterless cookware way. So not only does it give you more nutrients, more things you need, it saves you money because you're not going to need to eat as much food, which, as we know, I mean, if anybody's been to the grocery store in the last year, the food prices are absolutely astronomical right now. So, it saves you money, obviously, but it saves you money because you're going to be healthier. You're not going to get sick as often. Your immune system is going to be stronger. All kinds of really good stuff.
Yeah. And so I want to just show people. So I have 2 pots on the stove here, just a standard pot that's got these rivets that Jeremy's going to talk about. And then I have the Kitchen Craft, and then I have the output of that. Now, it's not like the most glorious picture in the world, and it's hard to tell, but the cookware and the broccoli that I cooked on the right is darker but not brighter. It has a little bit more yellow in it, and the one on the left is much brighter, meaning it has all the nutrients in it. And do you want to, so explain the process that you taught me on how to cook this broccoli.
Well, first off, I'd like to say, so the pot on the right there, that's what you boiled in right there.
Yeah.
The reason that there's discoloration in that, because most of those nutrients are in that water. Now, unless you drink that water, which most of us don't do, you're not getting all and it's not the most appetizing thing either, Jody. Let's just say what it is. I mean, nobody really wants to drink raw vegetable juice all the time to get their vitamins. So the reason is that color, if you dump that water out, it's not going to be clear like water is. It's going to have a greenish yellow tint to it, which has got vitamins in it. Now, if you look at the pot on the left, which is the Kitchen Craft, there's no water in there. So what that allows you to do is cook your vegetables and retain the nutrients, retain the flavor, retain all the color in there, unlike you did with the boiling method. So even steaming's better than boiling, but most of us over steam. So if you over steam by 1 or 2 minutes, what does that broccoli look like when you over steam it? It starts falling apart and the color's all gone with it. And obviously, as you know, the microwave is just absolutely the worst way to cook your vegetables.
Well, you're reading my mind because I'm like, talk about the microwave.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the microwave cooks between 700 and 900 degrees. So pretty
Wow.
much like 10 seconds in the microwave, you've killed most of the enzymes inside of those vegetables.
And you zapped out the nutrients.
Yep, you've zapped out the nutrients. So, I mean, I'm sure you've talked about this on your show before, but I mean, if you could just avoid the microwave completely, it's really, really good for your health. I have one.
I don't want to scare you. I use my microwave every single day, probably 4 or 5 times a day.
Okay, what are you using it for?
I put in my kitchen towels.
Oh, okay, exactly.
Storage.
Yeah, you warm them up or whatever, But
I don't even warm them up. It's unplugged. It's literally a cabinet for my kitchen towels. That's it. It's unplugged because I live in an apartment. We can't remove it, so I use it as a storage bin for kitchen towels.
Yeah, I live in an RV, so if I were to take that out, it would just look really weird. So it's more of a decoration for me. So, but we don't use it for anything. So it's really just
your kitchen towels in there, Jeremy.
Yeah, you know what? I never thought about it like that, but I'm just going to start using it as extra storage space because in an RV, that's the biggest problem you have is space. So.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is that let's just go through the checklist about the microwave, right? And it's funny. I don't think, and I probably just need to do another little blurb. That's hilarious. So I am so used to not using a microwave that in the functional food program, I think I have to do one more thing on the toxicity is add about the microwaves because I completely forgot.
Yeah, well, there's obviously like radiation waves, and I don't know the full science behind it, but I mean, obviously, the microwave isn't good for you. I mean, it's not good to be using it in your home. It's not good to put your food in it.
Well, you don't want to be putting radiation on your body.
Exactly.
And and I do help people on neutralizing, those radiation waves using electromagnetic. It's we offer Altera's EMF neutralizers. It neutralizes the EMF from your lights, your microwave, your hair dryer if you use one, which I don't, from your stove, wherever your refrigerator. We're getting EMF from everything, and now we also get the 5G, which is a stronger version of what we've had before. They're deploying these towers all over the place, and on top of that, they're even putting 5G in the parking lot lights. Were you aware of that?
I wasn't.
Yeah. So everyone is like scurrying around in an upset about the 5G towers. And while they're doing that, they're getting people's attention over here. They're putting in light bulbs in the parking lot that have 5G.
Nobody knows about it.
Right? So we're always looking at hidden toxins. What are people doing while you're not looking? And that's why they always have, let's just talk about toxicity for a moment. That is why we'll just say, while the government is constantly creating distractions for us in terms of, things for us to focus our attention on so they can do the things that they want to do to keep them, their thumb, over you like that. So, and Chris had said that she definitely saw the differences in color, and she also says, yes, those lights are very discombobulating. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen discombobulating written out. So, but we're going to go to commercial real quick. And if you have questions for us, you can call into the show at 515-605-9325. I will just say that I am so grateful that phone number never changes. So you can always call in and listen to the show at that number, no matter what technology issues we have. So here we go. And let's just see here. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Jody Susan with Susan Essentials. I started Susan Essentials in 2015 because of a personal health journey. I was over-medicated and put on 19 different medications. And yes, I reversed all my chronic diseases using plant and energy-based healing. It was amazing. At Susan Essentials, we support both consumers and businesses, and we do that with helping your employees or yourself with a food as medicine mindset. How Susan Essentials supports businesses and consumers is we teach people about a food as medicine mindset. So we support people on how to support their own immune system, how to support their brain health, how to support their emotional well-being. And we do that all with plant and an energy-based healing. Susan Essentials is re-engineering what health looks like by leading you to the best wellness initiatives in the world. Start your coaching plan today and create a new paradigm of health. Click here to learn more.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
But I believe together we can make progress. Let's provide job training, economic growth, and invest into our 77 communities. Let's rebuild and restore Chicago. Vote for me for mayor of Chicago. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Okay, so back to clean eating with Jeremy Zito. So Jeremy, tell us, what else is it, what's your favorite part? Like when you obviously have all the cookware. What's your favorite cookware? Why? How does it work? Because it distributes heat differently than normal cookware, doesn't it?
Yeah, so what we do is we have 7 different plies of metal. And what we do is, on the bottom layer, it starts out as a layer of surgical stainless steel, which is completely non-porous. And then what we do is we take a layer of magnetic steel. Now, that magnetic steel allows it to be induction cooking friendly. Now, for those on the show that don't know what induction cooking is, it's basically uses magnetic pulses. The pan has to be induction friendly, otherwise it won't work on the burner. But it uses magnetic pulses, and it actually heats it up very, very rapidly. So you could boil water, or about 2 minutes it takes to boil water, whereas traditional methods would take 6, 7, 8 minutes or longer even. And then what we do is we take...
How long does it take to boil the
water? You could boil on an induction burner. You could boil it in a couple minutes.
Really?
Yep.
So you're actually saving money.
Yeah. So the induction, the whole point of it is that it's very, very energy efficient. So it's extreme. You're not using gas, propane, obviously. So that obviously the gas prices and the natural energy prices have been insane, as long with electricity prices too. But yes, you're saving money because you're doing your cooking's taking less time when you do it this way.
Okay.
So when you have good pots and pans with that induction burner, it just allows you to cook really, really fast and efficiently with it, which is which is super convenient for most people. Because I mean, the hardest part about obviously being healthy and prepping to be healthy is there's a lot of prep time involved. There's a lot of cook time and stuff like that. So if you could get more time in your day to do that and save time, it's very convenient and it's easier to do. So.
Okay, so is your microwave running in the background?
Yeah, Maria's heating up some water.
So Maria, just so you know, you're putting yourselves in a hot box right now. You're live on a show doing that. So when you are in an RV and you're running a microwave, you're literally putting yourself in a hot box. So it's changing the DNA of your cells. So it's highly dangerous, and it slows down the blood circulation. So especially the blood by your brain, right? It starts to stops to slow down, and it changes the DNA. So I just, forgive me, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I mean, like, super dangerous for you guys to be in an RV running that thing.
Yeah, I personally don't use it, but she uses it once in a while. I mean, we don't have any I don't have the induction thing hooked up right now. So
that's all good. And I want to say thank you to Maria for letting us know, showing us, because somebody, I know that's not your norm, somebody who's watching this now needed to see that.
Yep.
So I'm really grateful for that happening. It's amazing how certain things are brought into our field or into the universe, not necessarily because it's your normal way of doing things, but because it's an opportunity for somebody else to learn what we really need to avoid, like that. And Vieta, who is our Friday host, she says, Grand Rising, you beautiful souls. Thank you for sharing this truth. You're welcome, Vieta. So it's interesting. So, and here's the thing, when you get into nutrients, most people are not absorbing the nutrients in their food, which has you also eat more, right?
It does.
So what does that lead to? Weight gain.
Get weight gain, diabetes, high blood pressure,
right?
all kinds of other stuff.
Because when I was making the broccoli and I did the comparison, the broccoli tasted so amazing. I mean, it was just so amazing. And I was just flabbergasted. And one of the things that I teach people is about eating nutrient dense foods. And I'm typically putting mushrooms or mushroom powder, actually, like here's this morning's coffee, right? And in my coffee, I have echinacea, I have dandelion. The coffee is actually made from dandelion roots. It's dandelion. Some people call it tea, but the way that this one's made up, it's categorized as a coffee, right? But then in addition to putting in my cashew creamer or cashew milk, right, which is very creamy, sometimes we use dairy. I also have 10 different varieties of mushroom powder.
Wow.
Yeah. So having nutrient dense meals allows you to live with vitality, right?
It does. I mean, it's when you're eating nutrient dense foods like that and you're retaining the nutrients, your body feels it and your body responds to it very, very quickly. I mean, most of us we're eating nutrient dense foods. We're eating our broccolis and like that. But when we're cooking them certain ways, we're not getting everything inside of those foods that we need. And that's basically what we do. What our cookware allows you to do is allows you to keep those nutrients intact, have more flavor in your food. So your eating experience, not only is it more enjoyable because your food tastes better, but you're doing better for yourself. You're doing better for your health, which makes you want to cook more. It makes you want to eat at home more.
Yeah, I'm not a big restaurant person.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm not either. Once in a while, I might go get some sushi or something like that, or things that I really can't do at home. But
Well, yeah, because
I really,
you're done, right?
when I got, obviously there's, I'm not the type of guy to go buy some raw fish and make my own sushi. I just rather, I'd rather go pay somebody to do it, obviously. But it saves you money because you're eating at home more. You're buying your own foods. I like cooking so much more since I started using this cookware because it's fun, it's easy. I'm able to do things that I just wasn't able to do before, with
Like
normal cookware. Like perfect example, make a hard-boiled egg without water.
What?
Yeah, you can make hard-boiled eggs. You don't need any water. A couple advantages to that, obviously, you don't get any leaching from the water. So I don't know, depending on what your water source is. Obviously we've all made hard-boiled eggs and we've had that green, grayish stuff around our yolk. Well, that happens obviously for one of two reasons. You get iron in your water source, which causes a reaction, or two, you overcook it a little bit while it's boiling for a couple of extra minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a chemical reaction with that hydrogen inside the egg white, has a reaction with the sulfur in the egg yolk, and then it causes the yolk to discolor. So yeah, you could cook eggs with not boiling water, hard-boiled eggs without boiling water with this cookware.
So in this, so I have and I haven't had a chance to do my tips, recipes. So is there like in here, how to boil your eggs in water? Without water?
Yep, there's a recipe in that book.
Eggs. Okay, guys, I'm so flipping excited. So 6 eggs, 1 or 2 paper towels, right? Okay, so I gotta take my glasses off to read. So I'm the opposite. So actually, we did talk about this. You fold the paper over twice, so it covers the bottom of the 2-quart saucepan. You soak the towel with, it says water. I'm going to insert filtered water, right?
Yep.
But don't allow any extra water to stay in the pan, and all the water should be held by the paper towel and pour off excess water. And so for you just basically place it in the on the wet towel, cover in place over medium heat for 2.5 to 3 minutes. And when the vapor escapes, reduce the heat to low. And so what I really love about this, which is the question I was going to ask you, is how do I know how long for hard cooked eggs versus soft cooked eggs? Because I would love to have I like my eggs over easy because the power of the egg is in the yolk, which has all the amino acids. But as soon as that yolk is cooked all the way through, so is your amino acids. Right.
Yep. Well, it says it on there, but if you're going to do hard-boiled eggs, typically if you have those eggs in the refrigerator beforehand, you're going to do about 12 minutes. Once you turn the heat down to low, it's about 12 minutes on that temperature. Now, if you want the yolk a little runny yolk in the middle bit, you're going to do probably about 6 to 7 minutes or so.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying.
Yep.
And they're talking about, and this is really just awesome. I'm really excited about this. And when, I would have spent more time going through this book simply, but we were launching the program, which we didn't do until I think 11 o'clock last night. So it's but you have really great recipes: hearty Italian sausage soup, greaseless fried chicken. Holy crap. You want to talk about your greaseless fried chicken? Have you made that?
Yeah, so you could actually cook a piece of meat, chicken, whatever it is, pork, steak, inside the pan on the stove. You could put that lid on top of there. Mm-hmm. You don't have to turn your meat at all. So it will cook evenly all the way through, similar to what the oven will do, but it will do it in less time. Mm-hmm. And you'll have more moisture in the meat because, as you know, when you use your oven, a lot of heat and moisture escapes from the oven. That's why your food kind of dries out a little bit. When you have that lid on that pan, it does the same function as the oven, but keeps all the moisture inside of the pan.
Wow. So I want to just say something. So, I've been cooking since I was a kid. And when you cook chicken, it's 20 to 30 minutes period.
Yep. You could cook a whole chicken breast on your induction stove, depending on the thickness, anywhere from 10 to, or anywhere, it depends on how, 8 to 12 minutes probably on your induction stove.
That's what I'm getting from what I read here.
Yeah, on your gas stove, it's going to take a little bit longer, and the only difference is that it takes the pan a little bit longer on the electric and gas to get up to temperature.
Mm-hmm.
So once it's up to temperature, all the cooking times are accurate, but the only difference is the induction just heats it up faster. So you need a little bit less time when you're doing it.
So in a time where we need to have nutrient-dense foods, and in a time where energy is at an all-time high.
It is.
This is a really critical cookware to have, and then I'm also gonna mention one other thing. So this show, we talk about health, and it's not just about food as medicine. We talk about our mindset. We talk about our spiritual health. It just depends on who the guest is and everything like that, and what's going on in the universe that day, right? And I'm going to talk about our emotional health for a moment. So, we are all here on this earth to have our lessons and evolve and become stronger spiritual beings. And Jeremy, I think I mentioned to you that I was over-medicated and disabled.
Yes.
I was over-medicated for nearly 2 decades, and I'm going to turn off. Looks like I just need to get rid of there's a ding on my computer that I have an app that's on. I'll just trash that. There we go. So, anyway, so that was for 20 years, 2 decades. So as we are healing from our wounds, from our childhood, first of all, we come in contact with people that activate those wounds, so that we can then release those wounds and transmute them to God, give them to God, and not have to carry the burden of that memory with us anymore. And so instead of walking around with that burden in our heart, we can walk around with love in our heart. Makes sense?
Absolutely.
So for me, I'm still carrying around the burden of time. So we're taking it right back to cookware. I carry the burden of time. I guard my time. I guard my time because I felt like my time was stolen from me for 20 years. And yet I need to shift my own thinking, because those 20 years was my lesson. It was my training. It was where I learned how, so I can look like I can operate like I'm losing, like I lost all this time. But Spirit said, no, Jody, you didn't lose time. That was your training ground. That was your school. But I'm still triggered by it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm still triggered. So for someone who's triggered by time, if I can save, if it normally takes me 30 minutes to cook chicken in the kitchen, and I can get that down to 10 and I get 20 minutes back, I'm like, I'm doing the happy chicken dance, right?
That's cool.
So Andrew has a question up here. I don't know if you can see it on your screen.
Yep.
He says, how can we get this cookware? Can we buy it in a store? The answer is no. And do I need to find a distributor like you, Jeremy?
Well, what you can do is we have a website. It's called waterlesscookware.com. You can go on that website. Yeah, there's basically like 2 ways that we sell the cookware. What we do is we do over 4,000 live events every year, everything from state fairs to county fairs to home and garden shows. I met you at a women's expo.
Yeah, in Atlanta.
I mean, basically, we do all horse shows, you name it, we're there. And we've been doing that for 50, 60 years now. You could buy it that way, or you can go on our website. And if you go on the website, you need a code to put it in. Now, just to let you know, any of your listeners here today, if they're interested in the cookware, they can put a discount code in, which is ZIT20. And it will give anybody listening here today 20% off anything on our website. So that's my discount code right there. So anything you see there, put that code in, it's going to be 20% off.
Well, that's pretty awesome. And so, and here's the thing. If first of all, this I would think makes a great wedding gift.
Yeah, we do a lot of wedding registry stuff. We do all kinds of wedding registry stuff like that, bridal shower stuff like. So yeah, that's I've actually had a couple people buy these from me for wedding gifts at shows that I've done. So yeah, it makes an excellent wedding gift because it's one, the cookware lasts forever. It has a lifetime warranty. So I meet people every single week at every show, multiple people that have had this cookware for 50, 60 years, the same set of cookware, and it still looks good from the day they bought it. So it lasts forever. And if something goes wrong with it, after 50, 60 years, you might have a handle or something that might go bad on it. We're going to replace it for you. There's no questions asked warranty on the cookware.
Okay, so do you see I have all these video testimonials up here?
Yep.
Which one do you want me to go to?
You know what? I haven't watched all these ones, so you can go to any one of them. But you're going to see lots and lots of people there that have had the cookware for 40, 50 years. People that have lost weight. We have thousands and thousands of reviews. So you can pick any one of them. It doesn't really matter.
Okay, so let's see if this is still showing on. There we go. So what I like about this, there was another one that I saw. A woman bought her second set for her second house. So let's see.
Yep. I get a lot of that, actually. A lot of people want to do Florida shows and stuff like that. A lot.
About 3 years. It's very energetic. Less grease. That's a big thing.
Healthier cooking. Acid reflux.
Yeah, the acid reflux has helped out with a lot.
Yeah.
And I've lost a little bit of weight. We've had it 3 years, and we love it.
So, look, and then so there's what's this other one right here? So,
so this is we do a live. That's Chef Brett there that works with Kitchen Craft. So every Tuesday they do a live cooking show.
They do.
Headquarters. Yep, every Tuesday. I believe it's at 7 Eastern time on every Tuesday. That's Chef Brett right there. He does every week he does something different.
Okay.
So he shows you, a lot of it's for our customers that already have it, but he gives them good recipe ideas, how to use the cookware and stuff like that. And yeah, I watch it almost every week if I'm not busy, if I'm not at a show. But I'm always learning new stuff about the cookware. And believe it or not, most of the stuff I learn about this cookware is from people that have owned it 30, 40, 50 years. So every time I hear somebody that comes up to me and tells me how much they love it, I always pick their brain and I ask them, like, what do you make with it? What's your favorite to make? And get all kinds of really good ideas from it. And it's good. I learn stuff from customers, which is nice.
So it's interesting. So he's making pizza.
Yep, that's pizza.
Welcome back. Kitchen Craft.
Yep.
Tuesday night Facebook Live. If you were here last week, you saw us cook up the nice, healthy, quick meal. And then we said we're going to make a pizza tonight, Tuesday. So here we are. I'm not sure you guys can, as I'm lifting these up here, we made a couple pizzas earlier with we have a new pizza pan. So we're going to use that tonight. So we have one of these has pepperoni, mushroom, and the other one has, lift this up, This one has the spinach, ham, and mushroom. So we're also going to make a couple more using, like I said, the brand new pizza pan. So before we start off, I personally don't make my own dough. I have in the past. It just seems like the easier way, and so I can get it from Publix. Our grocery store down here in Florida is Publix, where I'll get it from. A lot of grocery stores. Trader Joe's carries a nice dough. You can find it at most grocery stores. So you get your, unless you want to make your own dough, obviously go for it. I bought the pre-made dough in a mall. You can put a little flour on your cutting board, press it out, use a rolling pin, roll it out, and then you want to go ahead and make a nice big circle, throw it on your pizza pan. Yes, Lena?
Felipe and Melanie say hi.
Hi, Felipe. Hi, Melanie. How you guys doing?
Felipe gets it from Trader Joe's.
Felipe, you get your Trader Joe's pizza dough? I've heard good things about that.
Okay. So, the cool thing is, is that you have cookware for literally everything. And then Chris is saying, says, great point. Losing time to disease is difficult to get past, and one I work with often to release. I've been told the same thing. Let's call it school. Yeah, right? Because it is school, right? We're learning how to honor our bodies and fuel it with what it needs. And then Chris has a question, shows, do you carry industrial sets for the restaurant industry? Ooh, great question.
Well, we don't really, we sell sets of the cookware, but we don't really have we have like what's called a work set. But the cookware does have a lifetime warranty. So if he's worried about durability, that's not going to be an issue if you're using it at a restaurant. But we do sell multiple different sets. And it's obvious, it's cheaper if you do buy it in a set because you're buying it in bulk. So if it was somebody was using it for a restaurant, they could order it like that in sets, and it would be cheaper than buying the pans individually.
So, right. So let's talk about that. So for the restaurant industry, first of all, this makes complete sense because let me just put it in this context.
You would think it would, Jody, but believe it or not, most restaurants are using aluminum in their cookware. One, it's very cheap, and two, aluminum cooks food very fast, so it's a very good heat distributor.
Which is why they put it under the Teflon.
Well, yeah, and believe it or not, our cookware actually has aluminum in it, but it's embedded into the center of the cookware, so you don't get any of the leaching. So what it's, and we started talking about this, but what it does, it has a layer of surgical stainless steel. Then there's a layer of that magnetic steel. We put one more layer of surgical stainless steel, and then we put 3 layers of aluminum and pure aluminum alloy. Now, you don't ever want to directly eat off of that aluminum because of the health stuff with it. But it's really good at distributing heat fast and effectively. That's why we put it in there. So what we do to make it completely safe and sanitary is we take one more layer of completely non-porous surgical stainless steel. So it starts out with surgical stainless steel on the bottom and surgical stainless steel on the top. And in between, we have magnetic steel and aluminum and more surgical stainless steel. And that allows it to cook very fast, very efficiently. So you're getting all the benefits that you would have in an aluminum pan, but you're not getting the negative health effects of it.
That's amazing. And I'm also thinking, so, Chris is here, a friend of mine, and she's saying her husband works for a large distributor of restaurant equipment, and we know many in the industry. So, it occurs to me that if the restaurant industry, and I know people are always pinching pennies, because that's where the shift of the mindset has to come in, right? How many times do you need to replace your pan? This pan actually cooks faster, right, than the other pans.
Yep.
And so if the restaurant industry, and really, if the restaurant industry could wrap their head around the fact it's faster, You don't have to replace the pans. So if you're, so, if you're in it for the long haul, and you're like this other, there's several organic kitchens out here in Georgia. There's Good Kitchen, True Food Kitchen. These are restaurants, and they're pure, all organic. There's like there's no questioning what's in their food. This one couple, they're proprietors here in Georgia. Both of them had cancer. They're not messing around.
Yep. So,
I don't even know if they know about this cookware, quite frankly. And I'm sure they're cooking out.
A lot of people don't, and that's why we have found the most effective way to show people this cookware is we do live events. Because it doesn't, honestly, it doesn't really do us any good trying to sell it on Amazon or online retailer. I mean, people go to Amazon to buy cheap stuff, and our cookware it costs a little bit more money than what your typical cookware would cost at the store, and for good reason. One, it's made in America. Two, it has a lifetime warranty. Three, the materials that we're using are just way different than what everybody else is using, so they're more money. And that's why it lasts forever.
It's a heavy pot.
It's very, very heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is not cookware that, look, let's say you're older, you're me, like I'm going to be 59, right? And so not too bad for 59, not shabby, right? Not a wrinkle you can see. So, but let's say you're my age or in that range, you think, I don't want to spend a lot of money on cookware. Put it in your flipping will. That's how long this shit's lasting. Right?
Yeah, and I get that a lot, that people say, oh, it's a lot of money spent on cookware. But, on average, Americans replace their cookware every 5 to 6 years. So if you're doing that, if you're replacing your cookware every 5 to 6 years and you do that over 30, 40 years, how much money have you spent on cookware in your life? You've spent.
Well, and now I want to talk about the last 2 years, Jeremy. Most people weren't eating out, right? So there's a huge investment in the home.
Yep.
And so if you were normally replacing your cookware, how often?
Every 5 to 6 years, Americans replace their cookware.
Okay. And I'm going to say that's a shortened lifespan now, because that's making the assumption, which is a good assumption, that people are eating out, let's say 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. Now you're cooking 7 days a week in the house versus 3 or 4.
Yep. So yeah, it obviously saves you money because you're eating at home more often, but you're saving money because you're not buying cookware every 5 years.
Well, you're not going to the doctor's office.
And the most important way that it saves you money is energy saving. So we've done studies on this, on waterless cookware. On average, you save about $1 a meal. So if you do a meal a day in your home over the first year, you're going to save about $365 on your gas or electric bill. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot of money, especially in today's age with inflation. But if you do 2 meals a day over 5 years, you're going to save around $3,600 in energy savings. So over the course of a lifetime, it starts to add up. One, your food doesn't shrink. So you're buying less food at the grocery store because you don't get the typical shrinkage that you do. Typical cookware shrinks your meat about 20 to 30%.
Wow.
There's very, very minimal shrinkage at all when you cook it with the waterless method. Same thing with your vegetables. So you're buying less food. That saves you money right there. It saves you money on your gas or your energy bill. It saves you money because you're not buying lots of pots and pans over the course of a lifetime. And it saves you money on your health. You're not going to get sick as often. You're not going to have to see the doctor as much because your body's absorbing more of those nutrients. So in theory, your immune system is going to be much, much healthier. So it saves you numbers in a lot of ways. And that's what we do is we do these live shows. We do taste comparisons for people. We show people how it saves you money. But you really can't sell that on a website on Amazon because they have to see this cookware, Cookware all looks the same. So if you put my pan on Amazon next to another shiny pan, you really wouldn't know the difference unless you did the research on it, which most people aren't going to do. You know, that's why we do these shows.
Well, this
because
guy's doing the research. You got Philip here. He's got a question for you. What does the magnetic steel do? I've never heard of magnets in cookware before.
The magnetic steel allows it to be induction cooking friendly. So you have induction uses magnetic pulses. So what it does is it uses the magnets in the pan and then from the burner, and it heats the pan up very, very rapidly. So, and Jody, just to let you know, if that rep code, do ZIT20. That will allow anybody listening to get 20% off.
Got it. Okay. So
yeah. So unless they want to pay, obviously, website price, the ZIT20 will save them 20%.
Okay, let's do that.
But yeah, so the magnetic steel, the purpose of it is it's for the induction burner. And anybody that doesn't know what induction cooking is, I would highly look into it. If you're ever going to redo your kitchen and redo your appliances, I would highly recommend getting an induction stovetop. It's just so much more efficient.
Induction. Oh, wow. We've got tons of questions in the back. So I'm going to show a screen for induction. I'm going to bring up 872-901. And then I'm just also going to say that also have another comment here. Let's see where to go. Chris says that I love to try and get you in the test kitchen to show your product. Yeah, I mean, if Maria can videotape you and show you, but you said you don't have it set up there.
I could probably, should probably whip up some vegetables.
Do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let me get Maria real quick. What I gotta do, I'll cut some up, but I'll show you. It's a real simple process. But give me 1 minute here, okay?
Yeah.
Maria.
And while you're doing that, I'll go to commercial, and then we'll also take the color from the back. Okay.
So, sounds good. I'm gonna just cut up some potatoes and some carrots, and I'm just gonna show people.
She's ready to film you cutting up those potatoes and carrots, we want to watch the whole process, start to finish.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna start cutting up a couple potatoes while you're at commercial, but it's gonna take me a couple minutes, so I'll just.
But give Maria the link so or have her pick up the phone. The thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have her just hold this my iPad. And then
awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, we're gonna go to a quick commercial.
Sounds good.
Welcome to QuickClick. Welcome to QuickClick, where customers can buy, share, and earn. Meet Sam. Sam owns an e-commerce business that sells athletic shoes and running gear. Sam wants to increase her sales without increasing marketing spend, so she decides to list her products on QuickClick. On QuickClick, her loyal customers can get paid for sharing her products with their friends. Sam uploads her products to the marketplace, just like she would on Amazon or Shopify. Meet Laura. Laura is in the market for a new pair of shoes and comes across Sam's brand on the QuickClick marketplace. Laura is able to purchase the shoes and check out like she would on any other e-commerce site. After purchasing, Laura receives a unique Quick Link that she can share with friends to begin earning Quick Cash. Her friend Jessica opens Laura's Quick Link on her phone and purchases the pair of shoes. Because Jessica purchases using Laura's Quick Link, Laura receives Quick Cash in her account. After purchasing, Jessica can now share her own Quick Link and begin earning Quick Cash as well. But QuickClick is more than just your typical referral or affiliate platform. QuickClick rewards customers for sales they directly and indirectly influence. So, for every sale Jessica's new Quick Link makes, Laura will earn additional Quick Cash as well, making the potential for earning exponential. Laura and Jessica can transfer their Quick Cash balance to their bank account at any time, or can even use Quick Cash to make additional purchases in the app. Meanwhile, Sam can just watch as the sales roll in. Best of all, she doesn't have to worry about costs, since she is only spending marketing dollars when actual purchases are made. Start buying, sharing, and earning today at QuickClick.com.
All right, so we're going to get this demo going, yeah?
Yep. Maria, you want to grab this and just film me real quick?
And I'm going to run one more commercial on the radio side. And so.
Yep.
Oh.
It's not a future. One person cannot decide what is the best for our 77 communities. Our kids must work together for our kids' best interest. They deserve a safe education.
Hey, Jody.
With resources that meet every student need. Let's rebuild and restore Chicago. Vote for me for mayor of Chicago. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Okay. And
Hey, Jody, I'm trying to figure out how to flip my camera around here on this
there's
thing.
usually on the bottom corner, there's like a little camera. It's got a little like thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I might have to take this out of my case here.
That's fine. So I'll just take you out of the stream for the moment. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So as we're waiting, we have Higher Learning Network, Zelda Robinson, stress relief coach. She says, Grand Rising, beautiful teachers. Thank you for sharing this information because we're slowly waking up. Love this show. Thank you. And Chris says, yeah, love that we're getting an example. Yeah, it's really amazing to see Jeremy in action. Anyway, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to take a caller. So we have two calls. One is 111-11111. I just want to let people know we do not take calls from blocked numbers anymore. So if you want to call into the show and you have a question, you need to actually use your own number. Then we have another call, and I won't say the whole number because you don't want to give out your number, 872-901. And we're going to take your call as Jeremy's putting this together. And let's see if we can answer your question. So welcome to Self Care.
Good morning. Good morning, Jody. 59 years old. Well, God bless you. And I don't know the name of the gentleman that we have today, but this is Lois here in Chicago, Illinois. And I'm enjoying this show so much. Especially, I want to say thanks for the tips on putting our food in the skillet instead of going into that microwave. We needed to hear that. I know it came from God.
Oh, I know it came from God too. Like I know that came from God because
I want to know about the product. I want to know about the product and about the eggs. I remember a lady who went on a diet with the eggs and she lost about 50 pounds just dealing with eggs. So I want to ask the host today, how much does it cost, or do I have to go to ZIT20 to find out more about the product, because I would like to know more about it and order if possible. And so I want to know, since we've been hearing so many rumors about eggs, they're supposed to be good for you, they're not supposed to be good for you. Can you tell us whether or not the eggs are good for us, please? Thank you
sure.
so
So
much
let's
for
start
the
with
time.
the first one. So first of all, eggs are really good for you. Eggs have cholesterol, but they don't cause cholesterol issues. So let's make a distinction. Unless you're sensitive to eggs, no reason not to eat eggs unless you have your own personal reason. There's no health reason not to eat eggs. They're full of amino acids, and as soon as you overcook or hard boil your eggs, amino acids are no longer, you no longer are getting the benefit of those amino acids. Eggs are really good for you. And we do have Jeremy. You can see him now. He's chopping up. Looks like it's carrots. Is that right, Jeremy?
Yeah, I got some potatoes and some carrots in here.
Awesome. And he's got.
And you know what the best part about this cookware is you can put all your vegetables in there together. You don't get any leaching, so your carrots are going to taste like carrots. Your potatoes are going to taste like potatoes. You can put multiple different vegetables in the pan like this. You cook them like this and not have to worry about your whole thing tasting like broccoli or whatever else you're cooking in there.
Really?
Yep.
So that's interesting. And so, Lois, what were your other questions that you had? And thank you for calling in from Chicago.
I wanted to know the cost of the product. I wanted to know if it's possible to order the product. Because, he mentioned something that I was never aware of, that someone had to order at least every 5 years new, Tupperware, what have you. Well, things that you cook with, utensils. So if he has this product available, I'd like to know exactly where I can get this product. And he doesn't have to convince me anymore. Also, I learned
so I'll tell you where to get the product. Let's take one question at a time. One, we had the information on the screen. So if you are watching on YouTube, and I will tell you exactly where to go, but if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, you'll see that you can go to waterlesscookware.com, and you want to use Jeremy's code, which let me see, his rep code is different, so you can get 20% off, which is ZIT for Zito. And instead of 90, put 20, and you get 20% off the cost of the cookware. Now, I don't know the cost of the cookware, but I'm going to go to the website and help Jeremy out while he's cooking. I'm going to go to waterlesscookware.com. So waterlesscookware.com, and let's see what some of these prices are. And let's not sugarcoat this. They're not cheap. This is an investment in your health, just like anything else that you do. I'm just going to say this. Let's look at the cookware first.
And real quick, I'm ready to kind of do a demonstration on this real quick, Jody.
Okay. So
and just to let you know, if anybody's got any questions after the show, if you want to put my number up there or my email, they could contact me directly. I'll answer the call for them. I'll whatever it is, any questions they got about it, what they think, what piece of cookware would be best for what they're doing in their kitchen. I'd be more. That's obviously hard to answer on the show for everybody, but if they want to,
we do take calls in now. So if you have questions now,
we have lots and lots of different pieces of cookwares, so obviously, if you're doing a lot of cooking, sets are the best way to go. But if you just want to try one pan, two pans, depending on what you're doing, the right pan, one pan's going to work better for certain situations than another pan. Obviously, it's anybody that cooks in the kitchen. That's why you got multiple pieces in there, because certain things work better. But anyways, this is how we want to do this. So I've cut up some vegetables. When you're doing your vegetables, you want them to be at least 2/3 full. Now, what you want to do is you want to rinse your vegetables out before you do this. So what I do is I'm just going to usually either rinse them before or prior. But what I'll do is I'll do this, and I'll empty that water out of there. So there's really no water in there. There's just a minimal amount of moisture in the pan. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my lid on there. And I'm going to put it on my little induction burner here. And then I'm going to start it out on about medium heat. And when the pan gets the temperature, what's going to happen, you're going to start to see some moisture come out of this pan right here a little bit. And this lid will start spinning freely, like I showed you the other day. As soon as that starts spinning freely, and it's spinning around several times like that on its own, what I'll do is I'm going to turn that temperature from medium to low. So what we tell people, medium to low is all you need to know. You start it out on medium heat. As soon as it gets the temperature, you turn it down to low heat. You continue cooking it for a few minutes or however long it requires. And that's all you need to do.
So that stops you from burning, and you're turning your food into a carcinogen.
Yes. So what happens is when this hits 180 degrees, when that pan gets 180 degrees inside there, you're going to start to see some moisture come around the lid of this. So it's going to release some moisture. So then what we will do is we will turn the heat down. Once we get to that temperature, we're going to turn it down. And then what's going to essentially happen is that pot's going to lock down. So that low temperature is going to actually, when we're on medium, it creates a water seal. That lid will start spinning around. When we drop the temperature down, what will happen eventually is that pot will suck down, and it will create kind of like almost like a vacuum seal on it, and it will hold all that moisture and all that temperature in there, and it will continue cooking using low temperature, but you're keeping all that hot temperature that we got it up to inside the pan.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And so we're going to stay with this.
Yep.
Andrew Calhoun, my husband, says cleanup must be super easy. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Cleaning is really, really easy with these pans because it's surgical stainless steel is a non-porous material. So that means none of the whatever you're cooking inside there is going to get deep within that pan. So if you do get any mess, sometimes when you're cooking meats, you'll get some black stuff at the bottom of the pan, and it looks a lot worse than what it is. All I do is I take some water, I put it on the stove, I heat it up for about a minute and a half. I let everything boil up, and then what I do is I just take a brush and I wipe it right off. It comes literally right off. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll actually make a natural gravy out of that. So if I'm cooking some chicken or some kind of meat, I'll take all that stuff at the bottom of the pan. I'll put a little bit of water in there. I'll heat it up. All of it will kind of bubble off. I'll put it into a cup and I'll pour that over my food and my vegetables when I'm serving it to get all that froth at the bottom of the pan. So it adds more flavor and it's natural, and it's basically everything that was already in the chicken, but it's adding some of that kind of just some extra taste to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so let me ask you a little bit more about cleanup. So let me tell you what I do with my conventional pans, I'll call them, right? So
Yep.
I'll call your pans organic and I'll call my pans conventional.
Yep.
And I still use good pans, but not like this. I have your pans, right? But not, I need to get more of your pans. So, so when I am cleaning some of my pans after I've been, I get some crap all over the bottom of them. In order to not scratch the pan, I soak it in a little bit of water. I put in lemon essential oil, which breaks down everything. I put in some enzyme and a little bit of soap and baking soda, and I let it sit there for a while and then clean up. Then after let it sit for 20 or 30 minutes becomes very easy because it breaks down all the stuff. If I was in a situation where I got my kitchen craft pan really dirty, could I use that or not so much?
Yeah, you could do that.
So it's not going to harm the pan.
Yeah, no, it's not going to harm the pan at all. These pans are pretty much almost indestructible. Perfect example, when you're doing those hard boiled or the waterless hard boiled eggs, you can literally, as soon as I'm done, I pour cold water into that pan right after I was cooking them. Now, a normal pot or pan, you would warp it right afterwards.
Oh,
you won't warp that pan because
put it into cold water, it warps that pan. Okay, you're showing us something. Go ahead.
Yep. Now, if you want to take a look here, you're going to start to see that how that pan is starting to almost come to temperature there.
Yeah. Talk to people about what you're doing, Jeremy, because we're on radio and on video.
Yeah, so we started it out on medium heat. We put some vegetables in a pan with no water. We just rinsed them off, so there was very minimal moisture in the pan.
Oh, we're not seeing the pan. We're seeing the counter.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
So I'm waiting here. It's almost the temperature. It's starting to steam up. Needs another minute or so here where it's going to start spinning.
That's all good. It's all good. We're patient. Yep. And Naima says, our executive producer, Grand Rising, it's so nice to have a live demonstration. Thank you so much. We can't see the pan.
Sorry.
And then Andrew Thayer Calhoun says, it's so good that you can cook with a lower temperature. That is so much better for your health. It's also cool to see that the pot has a built-in timer when the top starts to spin. That's cool.
Yeah.
So your spinning top is basically a built-in timer.
Yeah, so what will happen is that moisture will kind of just sit there on the pan like that. Underneath, there's a vapor seal underneath there. And it will start to rattle pretty much once it gets up to temperature there.
Now, I just want to make sure people see Jeremy's contact information. It's jeremy.zito@cookforlife.com. You can also go to the website, waterlesscookware.com.
and his phone number is 630-286. Jeremy, the last, I only have 3 digits.
2419.
Okay, let me edit that. And then the code, if you want to get cookware, is ZIT20 to get you a discount. Naika wants to know if you can bake in these pans.
Yeah, you could actually like make you could bake on top of the stove with these actually.
On top of the stove.
Yeah, I don't have I haven't done it really myself too much. I personally do it. We have what's called like a gourmet cooker, and it's like a slow cooker crock pot type of thing with our pan. I usually do it on that instead of the stove, and it usually takes a little bit longer, but it's way more moisture inside there.
Okay. So your last 4 digits are 2419. Is that
2419.
Okay. So we're gonna show people this again. Okay, people. So Jeremy Zito at jeremy.zito@cookforlife.com, waterlesscookware.com, and his phone number is 630-86419, and the rep code is ZIT20, like Zito. Nice Italian name.
Yep.
There you go.
All right, so I just turned it down to low heat here. And what I'm going to do, so those potatoes, I had them quartered up like that.
Yeah.
It's about a 1/2 inch. I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to put the timer on for probably about 9 minutes or so. And I'm going to continue to cook them on low heat like that.
Okay.
And just let it do its thing. And then once that turns off, I'll check them, make sure that they're just done in the middle there. And
well, and then Chris is saying this, which you mentioned before. He's saying, it's so nice, no heating up the kitchen, and being in an RV, this is huge.
Yeah, it is good. So the only time I really ever use my propane is if I'm doing like multiple things at one time. If I need multiple pans at one time, and then I'll use something for the gas, obviously. But I pretty much just use this induction burner pretty much all the time. And you could even have you guys ever heard of something called stack cooking before? You could even cook multiple pans on top of one another on one burner. Yep.
Stack cooking.
Yep. So that obviously saves you more energy doing that. But once the pan gets the temperature, you could actually there's dome covers that go on top of these where you could stack other pans on top of each other. So if you were to buy a set and you're doing multiple things, and you're not going to obviously do this all the time, obviously, but Christmas, Thanksgiving, days that we need extra burners, it really comes in handy. You could even heat something up on top of there.
Wow. So let me I need to put my computer on do not disturb. Hold on a second. I had a phone call coming through. Okay, there we go. That's safer. So, so the question was coming up. Maika says, "Is it stainless steel inside?" And Chris says, "It's surgical steel, right?"
Yep, it's surgical stainless steel. So that's the same exact stuff that they put in the human body for hip replacements, knee replacements, heart stents.
Hey, just like me, I got a knee replacement, so I got that.
Yep. So it's I have screws in my wrist. I broke both my wrists actually before at the same time. So I have surgical stainless steel screws inside both of my left and my right hand.
Yeah. So Wonder Woman, Wonder Man, right? Yeah. So Man of Steel.
But yeah, I'm just gonna let that cook for a few more minutes there, and then basically I'll take them out. I'll show you, just make sure that they're done, obviously. But
okay, yeah, so how many minutes do we have left?
I think about 6 or 7, about 7 or so.
Awesome. Why don't I go to commercial? And before I do that, Chris wants to know, how much is an induction burner?
So these induction burners really aren't that much money. You can go on Amazon, and you can get them for like around $100.
Wow.
For one like this. Yeah, they're not a lot of money. And now, obviously, if you're going to put one in your home that had multiple burners on it, they're more money. but they're still, compared to like other appliances, they're relatively cheap. Like I'm pretty sure you can get an induction, like a 4-burner induction stovetop for less than what you can get like pretty much for like a whole new stove and oven setup, you know?
Yeah, so our convection oven was like $140. Of course, that's double what we paid last year. Philip Shannon wants to know, is there, and I know the answer, he says, so no stirring required. Why don't you address that?
No, you don't. You don't need to stir these at all. So basically what this is doing, this is working like a Dutch oven right now. That lid's on there, that pot's locked down. Normal pots and pans, they cook from the bottom up. This is cooking top up, bottom down, sides in, all around. So it cooks evenly all around. You don't have to stir it to make sure that the one side's getting done and the other side's getting done. That's the whole.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I just want to reiterate a couple things. Number one, this is faster. Number two, it costs less. It takes less time. Well, it's less time. You know, that's my trigger. So it's less time, and it's faster.
Yep.
But you get nutrient dense food. You get evenly cooked food. You get toxic free food. Did I miss anything, Jeremy?
Nutrient dense food, toxic. No. You basically cover all the points. Another thing I want to go over to these. So if you did want to use your conventional oven, these handles are what's called space age Palmer. So these will actually go in the oven up to about 400 degrees. So if you need
camp out though, let's say I'm on a camp out. Now what?
If you what's that?
I can use this on an open flame. I'm on a camp out.
You can, but you don't put that handle over an open flame though.
Fair enough.
So that's going to be much hotter than 400 degrees, and that will melt it. Obviously, if you're cooking over an open fire and that flame were to get on that heats it up at really, really hot temperatures. So don't do that.
Okay.
But you can put the pan itself over a flame.
I put something on there so it can sit on it, right?
Yeah, as long as you can put the actual metal on that open flame, that's not gonna be a problem. But just don't get that handle, the space age Palmer part on there.
Yeah.
Don't let the flame actually like hit that.
Okay.
Then it will melt.
How much is give us a range of, you have different kits, I'm sure, right? For the cookware, and I know you can buy pot by pot or pan by pan, but you said it's cheaper to buy a group of pans, right?
Yep.
So talk to me about that, and I'm going to show. Actually, let me go pause on that for a minute. Don't let me forget. We're going to come back to propane. I'm going to go to a quick commercial, okay? Just so we stay on target, and then we've got 25 minutes left of the show. So let me do.
Hi, I'm Jody Susan with Susan Essentials. I started Susan Essentials in 2015 because of a personal health journey. I was over-medicated and put on 19 different medications. And yes, I reversed all my chronic diseases using plant and energy-based healing. It was amazing. At Susan Essentials, we support both consumers and businesses, and we do that with helping your employees or yourself with a food as medicine mindset. How Susan Essentials supports businesses and consumers is we teach people about a food as medicine mindset. So we support people on how to support their own immune system, how to support their brain health, how to support their emotional well-being. And we do that all with plant and an energy-based healing. Jody Susan of Susan Essentials is certified by the #1 functional medicine doctor on plant-based healing essential oils, which are revolutionizing the way we manage our well-being. Schedule today to take control of your health. Susan Essentials is re-engineering what health looks like by leading you to the best wellness initiatives in the world. Start your coaching plan today and create a new paradigm of health. Click here to learn more.
So Jeremy, it looks like you're ready for us.
Yeah. So yep, they should be ready now. So I took them off. You know, they're just sitting right over here.
Okay.
But I'll show you here. I'm gonna open this up.
Okay, we can't see.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna have Maria hold this real quick and show us. So I'm gonna show you here.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see here. I'm gonna use the little fork test here. You'll see how that fork goes right through that potato.
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna actually do a close up. Give me a minute here. So I'm gonna switch things around. I'm gonna flip from one here to the other. So there we go. So let me see here. Do that again. So that looks good.
Yeah. See it going right through there.
Yeah. Little salt, little butter. I'm eating it.
Oh yeah. Little olive oil.
Now.
But yeah, you see the carrot goes all the way through. They're nice and soft.
And how many minutes? 6 minutes?
Yeah, it was, let's see, I had probably about a total time about 10 minutes or so.
That's awesome. Better than a microwave.
Yep. So yeah, perfectly done all the way through there.
That looks amazing.
Yep.
Hot diggity dog.
Yep, no shrinkage at all. No shrinkage at all in the pan. So you're retaining all the nutrients, all the flavor. Everything stayed intact with the vegetables right there.
So, like, if you're trying to reclaim your health, I mean, this is another way to really, buy organic, use filtered water, get yourself a kitchen craft set of pans. Let's talk a little bit about, let me show people where to get these. Hold on, I'm going to share the screen so while you get up there, okay? So here we go.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn my camera around here.
Yeah, you do that. I've got the these are the pans. I got your back, Jeremy. You don't worry about a thing. So,
no, I'm trying to figure out how to flip my camera back. I just got this iPad.
You're not even on camera right now, so
okay.
You don't need a lot of things. You just handle that. Don't have to stress about it. So here are all the various types of pans on the waterlesscookware.com site. And look at this. Oh, that looks delicious. So every time you hover over the pan, it opens up and shows you a meal. Damn, that's going to make me hungry. Cool. Look at that kale. That's just beautiful. Now, I don't really like kale, but I do like to look at kale.
Yeah. I don't really like it either, Jody. I don't mind like putting it in a smoothie or something, but I'm not a huge fan of kale. It is really good for you though.
Too bitter for me. They looks like they've got this amazing. Now this is something I want. So you've got this 11-inch square griddle making pancakes. We make cassava flour pancakes in this house all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I have really great recipes. So let's looks like you're back. So we've got really amazing recipes on the Susan Essentials blog. And we just had a website update as of last night. And we have lots of comments here. So one, okay, hold on. Okay, let's start here. So Chris says, ha, 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 don't put the handle in the flames. Yeah, well, it's something I would flip and do. I'm just saying, oops, looks like Teddy started to write something. She's got my last name in there. Chris says, oh, wow, how nice. Andrew says, the easy button for cooking. Philip has a question. Philip Shannon says, how do you know your food is done if you're keeping the lid on? That's my big question, Phil.
Well, as long as you're following the instructions, and it's real simple, medium to low. When that lid starts to spin, you turn it down to low heat. Now, we have cooking times in all of our cookbooks. And those cooking times can obviously vary a little bit based on how thick your vegetables are. So if you were cooking a whole potato in there versus like cutting it up quartered, it would take longer time. Yep. But you get the hang of it really, really fast. If you're cutting up your vegetables like the size that I did right there, most of the vegetables, depending on the density, are going to be anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes after you turn that temperature down to low.
Yeah, and there's always an improvement for cooking. So I cook my potatoes in my convection oven. So it air fries it. It's faster
Yeah.
than a conventional oven. And then of course I batch cook, right?
Yep.
But so here's the thing, I'm not always batch cooking, right? And so I think that it's a really great idea to put your potatoes and maybe even put in your broccoli or your vegetable in there. You could probably cook it all at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. That's what I do with most of my stuff is like a lot of times like I'll do the potatoes, carrots, and then I'll do asparagus. That's like pretty much my favorite combination. So I'll take the potatoes, I'll take carrots, and I'll take asparagus, and I'll cook them all in that same pan like I just did right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they taste phenomenal.
My husband can keep the asparagus because I'm not touching that crap either.
Yeah. You can put whatever you want. You want to do zucchini, you want to put some cabbage, you want to put some broccoli, put whatever you want in there. And a lot of times what I'll do too is I'll even put a little bit of olive oil I
was going to ask about that because we use a lot of bacon fat in this house because it's full of vitamin D. We use olive oil, but we never do it. So here's where you can use olive oil, guys, right? Because you cannot use olive oil at high heat. Guess what?
Yep,
You're not using high heat here.
Yep.
So
yeah, so in those pans, I'll use olive oil, and then when I'm done, because it seems like when I do the olive oil in there, it seems I get like an infusion of all the flavor because the moisture is kind of staying in there while it's cooking. Mm-hmm. So it seems I get that really good flavor in there. And then when I'm done, I'll even take a little bit of butter to mix with those vegetables that I just did olive oil with, and then I'll season them up. I got some various seasonings that I use from Trader Joe's that are all, low sodium stuff and got good taste. And it depends on what type of mood I'm in, but I'll put all different kinds of stuff, and they're just phenomenal flavor. The you could just taste the nutrients intact with the vegetables themselves. But yeah, I like to add a little stuff to my, I don't like to eat my vegetables plain.
Yeah, I don't either. So
yeah, I like my food to have some flavor.
Yeah, and I want to go back to Philip's question about how long you know. Philip, this is a really good cookbook that comes with it. And it tells you exactly how much time for each thing. And yeah, we have to do some relearning in the kitchen, but we've had to relearn everything that we learned as kids, right? Because most of it was filled with lies anyway. But this is like just so exciting. I also want to just kind of like throw out some myth busters out here. Salt is not bad for you. It's actually really, really good for you. Now, I'm not talking about the allopathic version. Celtic sea salt, amazing for you, right? Full of minerals. So if you're using Celtic sea salt, the second in line would be Himalayan. It's really good. It's really good for you. I don't like it as well as Celtic. And then there's a black lava salt that actually has activated charcoal in it. So it's also pulling toxicity out of your body. Now, there's not that much in it that's going to do the whipping. But certainly those are your three options for salt. Butter is really good for you. You need this for your brain health. Okay. Your brain is 70% fat. So if you're eating toxic butter, okay, conventional butter, that's also getting stored in your fat cells. And now you're going to be exposed to early onset dementia. So you may as well cook with the crappy pan. Okay. Crappy butter, crappy pan, crappy brain. Sorry. I just got a little carried away. But so if, so as long as the food that you're using that has fat, that has salt in it is organic and it doesn't have chemicals in it, you are good to go. Eat it. God put it on the earth for a reason. Okay. Now we've got lots of comments in here. Okay, so Chris says Andrew Calhoun, right, and I think she's referring to the easy button for cooking. So, and
Jody, just to let you know, we have hundreds of videos on YouTube about waterless cooking. So,
nice.
Yeah, so it's real simple. We have videos that we send out to our customers how to use this stuff, and because it is something that you're not used to. And so when you buy from us, what we do is we stay in contact. I stay in contact with all my customers, especially right after they get the pans, just to make sure that they're using them right. And because they always got questions. But it seems like, after the first couple times of using it, it's very, very simple. Once you get the concept of it, it's actually easier than conventional cooking.
Yeah, but it does take a shift in your mindset.
Yeah, just like anything, if you got in an accident and you had to learn how to walk again, it's not easy at first because your brain doesn't have that muscle memory. But once you get the hang of it, it's super simple and it's fun. It's very, very fun when you're cooking this way.
Totally. And Teddy here says, Teddy June says, Susan Essentials, I have an electric induction burner, 2 burners, Cuisinart brand. It works great. My kiddo gave it to me, so I don't know where it came from. I'm sure it would be online. Thank you, Teddy. Yep. And then Maika has a question. She says, why did Jeremy keep turning the handle?
I wanted to make sure that the moisture was the lid was getting moisture under it and it was starting to spin.
Okay, and why do we want to know that it's spinning?
Because once you get the moisture in there and that handle the lid starts to spin, that's when you want to turn it down to low heat.
Got it. Okay.
Because once that vapor seal forms underneath that lid, that means that you're at the right cooking temperature. And then what you do is you turn it down to low heat, and it basically sucks the lid down, and it will stop pretty much, or most of the moisture that was coming out of that will stay inside the pan now. So it will lock the pan down, and you'll keep the heat inside the pan.
Cool. Very cool. Now I'm going to just take a quick station break because, as many of you know, I've been working around the clock and launching my functional food program. So it's great to have Jeremy talking about food here today. So I want to just do my own quick commercial. I want to show you guys what I created, and we'll so you can be excited because the email went out last night. So if you have subscribed to Susan Essentials, check your emails because I have an email that explains everything about the program. But I'm just going to do a quick 3-screen share so that y'all can see what we got. Okay? Because I'm too excited. Sorry. So, functional food program, right? Small changes, big impact. And we're eliminating toxins and guesswork while saving time and money, because that's my issue, time. And you learn to optimize your family's well-being. This program is approved by a doctor of psychology, Michelle Kukla. It's also, and she's the one who actually introduced me to healthy living. She's an amazing psychologist out of Palatine, Illinois. It's also approved by Dr. Steven Spencer. He says, so I'm going to invite you to take a look at these, but basically Michelle is saying how there's a plethora of studies demonstrating the importance of nutrition in helping to improve brain and gut function, as well as focus and attention, in addition to decreasing anxiety and depression. And she says that I'm a wealth of knowledge. Thank you very much, Michelle. And Dr. Steve, he is, speaking about the same thing. It's a great way to stabilize your blood sugar, improve detoxification, clear sentient cells, and improve digestion, and balance your mood. And he wants everybody to shed the standard American diet. Also endorsed by Doctors Quentin and Katie Slay, my chiropractors for many, many years. And they really love the philosophy behind the functional food program. It's not about dieting, but making truly healthy food choices. And it's not just your healthy food choices. It's your healthy pan choices, right? And then we have our 2 leadership coaches, Stephen Kohler, CEO of Audera Labs, and Dr. Tracy Cantaruti. Both have done this program. And she says it's a striking depth of knowledge. I never felt like she was trying to sell us a particular philosophy, simply supporting us in making informed choices about what we eat. And Tracy says that I'm an expert in functional food, which, I am, but there are others too. She says she changed the way that she eats, and that I taught her many important things about how to lower your sugar intake, but also really it's about not only how do you balance that sugar level with food, right? So the other thing here is we got the healthy starter kit, which you guys all get to build your own. I'm so excited. And the healthy starter kit comes with free gifts. It comes with a free guided meditation that I did personally. It also comes with my book, Informed Choices. It also comes with that sugar film is free as well. And we support you in getting a lot of these different things. If you have them already, awesome. If you don't, I know Phil has our neutralizers. Thank you, Phil, for that, and our essential oils. And you get Healy sessions and water filters. Actually, I'm just thinking Philip has all this. Thank you, Philip. But we also teach you how to use each, like the cilantro is used for getting rid of heavy metals in your body. And the lemon essential oil is used for getting rid of the microplastics. And then finally, I'll just say, this is your welcome page. And I'm actually just going to quickly play this video because this is the crux of how you're going to learn. Even not only what I'm teaching, but what Jeremy's teaching.
Hi, everybody. This is Jody with Susan Essentials. And in this brief video, we're going to talk about what I call the DK zone, which allows you to shift your thinking. So if you take a look at the pie chart, the very first one, let's say the eggplant color, that represents the things that you know that you know. So for instance, if you're a female, you know that you're a female. If you have blonde hair, you know that you have blonde hair. There is no disputing these things. Or if you're wearing a black t-shirt right now, you know for sure that you're wearing a black t-shirt. These are the things that you know that you know. Then there are the things in the yellow pie chart, and these are the things that you know that you don't know. For some of you, it may be you know that you're not an airline pilot, or it could be that you know that you're not a brain surgeon, or it could be that you know that you don't know how to ride horses. These are things that you're confident about that you know that you don't know. This is easy. What we're going to do in this program, what I call the DK zone. This is what you don't know that you don't know. Means it hasn't even entered into your conscious mind. It hasn't entered into your thinking. It means this is the opportunity, that's right, to shift your thinking. So if you don't even know that you don't know, there's a world of possibility out there for you. So that is the space that I would like you to be in when you're learning and traveling through the functional food program. I want you to think about that there's a possibility that there is something that you have not even thought of. And that's where we're at today. So if you can keep your mind in that space as you learn, you will graduate with honors. All right. Thank you and enjoy the journey.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. This is Jody.
Not mean for that to
Susan
go twice.
Essentials.
Okay, there we go. And so, so the reason I felt it's so important to play that, we're in a place, people, where we have to shift our mindset, which means learning how to cook differently and eat differently. And this completely applies to the kitchen craft, right? Cookware, where people then, have to rethink how they cook, right? Because if we keep cooking the old way, then we can have food that's not nutrient dense. We cook a new way, we get nutrient dense foods, we get it faster, we absorb these nutrients in our body, and we can release our attachment to disease, period. Maika has a question for you, by the way, Jeremy. So are these pans good for canning? Never heard that question. Go for it. Canning.
Canning? What do you mean? So you're talking about canning vegetables or what, pre-cooking them first?
I don't know. So Maika, can you explain that a little bit more for us, please, honey? And then what else we have here? Chris says she received her email last night. Yeah, people, check your emails. Check spam if you didn't get it. Susan Essentials. And we're waiting for her to reply. Andrew says, Jody, congratulations on the launch of the Functional Food Program. At $99, it's a gift for anyone who wants to learn more about how to eat and live healthy. Thank you, Andrew. And let me just send out some gratitude cards. Couldn't do this without my husband. Couldn't do this without our developer, Jesse Kranz, without our friends, Chris, without those doctors that we mentioned. So thank you, everybody. And Chris says, yes, Jody, thank you. Naima says, great presentation. And Philip says, thank you, Philip. He says, Jody has helped me identify things that I should avoid in food and supplements. Just because it's natural doesn't mean it's healthy. And Jody can inform you on that. Thank you, Philip. Thank you. God bless you. Now back to Maika. Canning vegetables and fruits. But Maika, are you saying that we should cook them first? And then, so are you saying cook them and then can them? Because I'm not familiar with canning. I don't really can stuff.
Yeah, I've never done it either.
Okay, so share with us just a little bit more, if you don't mind. She'll type it in the thread in a minute.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, while we're waiting, if anybody wants to go to the website, $99. It's $99 until September 30th, and then it goes up to $149. So get your program now, and give it as a gift. And if you're a corporation, if you work for a large corporation or a small corporation, get this for your employees. This is the biggest gift you'll ever give them. And it'll, reduce, I can't prove it yet, but, well, I really can. I don't really see doctors anymore. I don't see MDs. I don't have any illnesses because I'm using food as medicine. I cook my food well. We don't turn them into carcinogens, and I'm going to do a much better job now that I have Kitchen Craft in my kitchen. Well, I'm assuming she's saying that, here's Chris. She says, so we can in mason jars in a pressure cooker. So the jars with the veggies in them cook. Chris, call into the show and explain this because I don't really understand. Okay, Micah, you put the veggies in a jar with water in the pot and heat the bottles and seal your jars for storage.
90 seconds.
Interesting. Why couldn't you do that? I bet you could.
You know what? I'm not sure, and I'll try and what I'll do is I'm not familiar with that process at all of canning vegetables and how it exactly works. But what I can do is I'll find out with somebody in the company, and then I can get back to you later today to find out. But I would imagine if you could do it in other pots and pans, I don't know why.
So why would
60 seconds.
The jar is glass jar or is it a steel jar? Because if it's a steel jar, I would say, yeah, no problem. But if it's a glass jar, would the glass jar break unless there's water in there? So I don't know the answers to those questions. Would it still? Yeah.
I don't either. So I don't want to say yes or no. And honestly, that's the first time I've ever had that question. So
well, this is my crowd, right? We're going to give you something you haven't gotten before. And it's all
I'm curious. Yeah. I'm very curious to know, because if you could do that, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
So she's saying it's a glass jar. So the question then is, I would think you'd have to have some amount, a little bit of water in there.
10 seconds.
But do you guys put water in your pot in the pressure cooker? Give me a yes if you do or a no if you don't put water in the pressure cooker. So I'm not getting an answer yet, but hopefully somebody types in quickly and lets us know. Meanwhile, I just want to say thank you, Jeremy, thank you for sharing your wisdom
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. I really enjoyed it. We should do it again sometime, and maybe next time I could do it. I'll do like a whole meal. I'll show everybody how to do a whole dinner in one pan,
Oh, that would be awesome.
like
Yeah.
a chicken, some potatoes, and some green vegetables, all in one pan in 15 minutes.
So Chris is saying, yes, we would have to have water in the bottom. So that's fine. I would think that I'm kind of hearing yes. So if you can put water in the bottom of a pressure cooker, why couldn't you put the water in the bottom of a pan and cook it on yours? I mean, but yes, get to your corporate office and let them answer that for you. And we can get that in the thread. And then I just want to say, so in the functional food program, I'm having, which is really one of the most powerful parts of the program, the places that I trust to do business with. So of course, Kitchen Craft will be on site, and what's this? Hold on a second. She says, I can see the phone number this morning. LOL, sigh. I can't see the phone number this morning. Oh, well, let's put up that brand real quick. So hold on a second. Private comments. Banners. Okay, so let's just make sure you know how to contact Jeremy. Here's his information, jeremy.zito@cookforlife.com, waterlesscookware.com. Call Jeremy, text Jeremy, 630-286-2419. Reach out to him. If you just want to go out and buy, go to the website and buy. And then the rep code is DIT20. That gets you a 20% discount. But, contact Jeremy, 630-286-2419. Obviously really easy to talk to and full of information, and he'll be really super helpful. That pretty much concludes our show. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who participated. We're so grateful to have you here, Jeremy. What a wealth of knowledge you are. Love to do a demo with you as well, another demo down the road. Thank you, my husband, Andrew, and Chris, and Philip for showing up, for Maika, Zelda, Naima, Vieta. I mean, our show doesn't exist without you. And so if I didn't mention your name, please forgive me. And just know I send gratitude to all. All right. So thank you. And we will run the ending. Any last thoughts, Jeremy, before I run the ending of the show? Or
No, obviously, the way that you're cooking your food is important, but obviously the source of your food, and I know that's what you go over, is just as important too. So, people that are looking to get healthy, looking to make a change, obviously cook the way you're cooking your food, that could obviously help you. But, one of the callers, they asked about eggs. Are eggs good? Yes, eggs are good, but obviously the source of the egg is just as important as anything. So,
well, it's I mean, and there's so many myths about the cost of food and the cost of organic versus conventional. And I'll just take an extra minute, but we were doing this filming, and it's part of it's like in one case, like the organic creamer, there was a 10-cent difference. Really? Well, okay. So if you get sick, which you will, because you're drinking conventional creamer in your coffee, that's a $30 copay just to go at minimum, right? To go to the doctor, right? And not to mention time. You lose your time. You lose your vitality. Choose wisely, people. Choose wisely. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the road all the time, and I find farm fresh eggs for $3-4 a dozen, which is basically a little bit more money than what you would spend for the cheapest eggs at the store. And they taste so much better. They're healthier for you. That little bit of money is worth it in the end for me.
Yeah, and don't let a shift in pricing scare you, because they burn down all these manufacturing plants and they're, trying to create scarcity for people. Don't buy into this, people. Just don't buy into it. Buy your food, know that God's got your back. Lose the fear, replace it with faith. How about we end the show on that? Lose the fear, replace it with faith. Amen. Wow. To the world. There you go.